I started Citizen Health Action because I went through the health system during my bout with cancer and fibroids. And believe it or not, fibroids was worse than cancer. I was dying of blood loss, and two different doctors in the same small town didn't bother to tell me that I had the option of having my uterus removed to stop the bleeding because I didn't have children, and they assumed that I'd rather die than lose my ability to bear children. Then, when I found a doctor at a research hospital 2.5 hours away from where I was living, who actually told me my options, asked me if I wanted a blood transfusion, gave me choices, got me into emergency surgery the very next day. It was like stepping into a whole new planet. So, we pay an arm and a leg to get the services, health services, but the doctors are so busy filling out paperwork to get paid for every different insurance company that their patients have, phrasing every word they say in a certain way to avoid getting sued for not dotting their I's and crossing their T's, making sure that their staff don't make the same mistakes. Uh, you can get sued for not being politically correct, but when you do what the doctors did to me, I really didn't have a recourse. Uh, how many times, how many minutes do you get to speak with your doctor? 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And in that very short time, your doctor is supposed to understand your health history, important things that you didn't think were relevant, like even how many times you pass stool in a week can be very important. Things you don't even notice, like your heart rate throughout the day, throughout different activities. It can be an important factor in a diagnosis. So, how your body responds to different interventions, different medications. Uh, Doctors don't quite know what these things are like when you're not with them in that time frame, in that 15-minute period. So they guess. And we need to do better for ourselves. We need to create a better system to help ourselves heal. In the small town I was in, I waited 2 weeks before I could get the next available appointment. And all through that process, I was thinking, this is not right. This is not how things are supposed to be when I'm trying to get help. And when I was working with my trauma clients, I'm a licensed professional counselor. They would get wrong medications, and they couldn't talk with their doctors, they couldn't talk with their nurses. I trained in a lot of clinics, worked with doctors and nurses, and got their perspective on the whole thing. And they're right too. It's like we're all victims of a system that we create. And it's sad that things are like this. But the good thing is, after researching and because it's also my specialty, after understanding more about the options we have, I realize today that we are the cure. We have solutions. We don't have to wait until diseases eat away at our tissues to decide if we're sick or not. That's what it means when a doctor tells you we have to wait and see. We have to wait if your body actually is able to fight the disease and get better, or we will see if the disease eats away at your tissues and organs and they dysfunction, and then we'll do more invasive procedures. That's what that really means. So the goal of Citizen Health Action is to fight all chronic diseases, to eliminate them at one point in the future. For now, depression, diabetes, obesity, Alzheimer's, these are the things that we're fighting in the community through non-invasive, really easy solutions that you can apply yourself, and you can teach to your loved ones, so we can spread the word and create a new culture of health where frequent laughter and dance aren't frowned upon, where music and singing are cherished health practices. It's going to be a journey. We'll be stepping on the toes of some very powerful giant companies, but imagine helping the person in your life who is suffering from a chronic disease. How much you could improve their health if you could only, if you could help them relieve some part of the symptoms that they're struggling with. Imagine the lives you can save, the millions of people every year who get these diseases, how they can avoid being sick in the first place. So if you want to learn the science of what I'm talking about with the studies and all, join our family and register below. I'll be providing these classes intermittently, and I'll be sharing with you some tools and techniques that you can use to heal yourself and heal others.